What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today with a video about a hero that I think many overlook but that I really like to use in PvP, and I'm talking about Sylvina. Sylvina is actually really cool, and before anybody asks about the skin is the nostalgic Reverie skin. It was available in the Velvet store in one of the last seasons, like the smoky skin is right now, and those skins always leave at one point, and well, they didn't come back yet, so I have no idea when we are ever going to see this skin again, or if we are going to see this skin again. They haven't really made the decision on that. I believe they will. I actually expected them to put them in the trolley. They haven't done so yet, so I guess at one point this skin is going to come back, but don't ask me when. If you know some way to get it, then write down in the comments, but I believe there is none at the moment. So this hero is actually great. The way she works is she basically teleports behind an enemy at the beginning of the fight. There is a mark in place on an enemy in a symmetrical position, teleports there, hits that enemy very hard, stuns the enemy, reduces the vitality of the enemy, so makes it harder to heal, and then does her very best to take that enemy out. And I used her today in PvP to take on one of the biggest, or the biggest whale on my server, endgame from my guild, because what he did was, in the recent days, he always attacked me. The reason for that is, well, he's place 1 in PvP, I'm place 2, we have a huge distance to the rest, we really don't get any points from anybody else. So I get it. Wants to get some points, wants to like get a super huge score, makes sense. I'm not angry about this at all. So, but today I thought, well, it's like 5 attacks in one day, that's a little bit much, and I have to do something about it. So I went ahead and we delivered some punishment. We delivered some punishment. We once again, and I did this in the past before, crushed his dream of getting a ton of points in arena, and took them back. I lost 2 fights, which is very sad actually, but still, nonetheless, those fights are very insane because he has a super strong team. And let's not watch this one. Is this one better? Yeah, this one is very interesting, and I want you to take a look at this. We are similarly matched in Paragon strength. So Paragon is not a question here, even though, I mean, you see kind of a lot of P4. We have 4 P4 heroes and the Celestial, and he has 4 P4 heroes and Hypogen at P2, both are P2, so this is equally matched in terms of Paragon. And I had to break up his team. His team is of course a Dynel team with a P4 Dynel, absolute madness right there. And we have double heal with the Damien and the Hewen, and of course a Lily May, which is an absolute monster. So we have a very tanky team hiding behind the Frestos. So I had to break this up, and this is really what I did. Let's take a look at the fight. The way this works is she immediately teleports over, starts hitting that Hewen, because when that Hewen gets to do an ult, well, this fight is more than over. This fight is really more than over, so it's imperative to take her out immediately. And if she doesn't get to heal, that's nice. And the nice thing is, here we got something very special. Look at that. Did you see that symbol? That is a special effect. It's called Frighten, and it's inflicted on nearby enemies when Silvina defeats an enemy. We defeated the Hewen at the right moment when the Dino teleported over. And we can see we also have a nice link here with Ludovic and Silvina together in the Twins link, so we have the same faction in there. Lily May to just counter some ults, and Thorin as our main tank. And yeah, worked absolutely gorgeously with the super high win rate as well, because we have multiple fights here. In not every single fight Sylvina does the most damage, but you can see her keep up with Lily May here, and that is very impressive actually. Can maybe watch another fight. The ones where I lose, they are kind of weird. We just those are just fights where we just don't get through, where we just don't get the kill on the Hewen fast enough, where she gets to heal a few times, and yeah, that ends badly. The ult for Sylvina is actually not that important. It is most important that we get a kill in the first 12 seconds of the battle. That is really important. But if we get to ult or not on her, well, it's not really that important. One thing that I would like to see, if they ever wanted to change her, was I would like her to teleport to an enemy with her ult, because she kind of doesn't do that. Since you saw her just right there with full ult, standing there doing nothing while there's a Fresto. It would be nice if she got like a little bit of a teleport like Harak on that. It would be pretty cool. But her focusing on the enemy in front of her, and her focusing on a single target, and having the right kit to take care of that, that is really nice. And you can always use her when there is an enemy in a symmetrical position to her that you want to target, because she always targets enemies in a symmetrical position. And maybe we can take a look at her targeting a little bit. We don't really need any specific PvP enemy. Maybe we can use Sorbitol here. Don't even want to attack him. Not every map is good for her, so we have to take a look. Yeah, this map is perfect. This map is perfect to show it. the way this works is, you can take a look. Once we have, when we, for example, want to target that Lily May, then we have to set her in the same position. If we want to change it to Sharky, we set it in a symmetrical position. Now it's Sharky that we target. Now it's Coco, and we kind of just have to move it around. We can move it to every single hero, and it's very intuitive actually, because it's not like something like backmost or something. You can target front row heroes, you can go ahead. For example, if we want to just keep Smokey from healing, I can just demonstrate that right here. Keeping Smokey from healing, very easy. We stunned the guy. Now he has this, the book symbol there. Of course, we lose immediately, but that is essentially the way this works. You use one target hero and you can see 0 heal on that Smokey, and you can take out a key enemy hero, and that is what you want to do. And oftentimes there is such a hero. There are maps, however, and I think we can just take Trusty Andre to demonstrate that. There are maps where you really don't get a lot of choice from her. Yeah, this map in particular. Like, if we now go ahead, where's my Sylvina? Went lost. We place it here. It's not really a symmetrical position. It's still the Fresto here, still the Fresto, and here it's still the Fresto, because it's no symmetrical position to anybody, really. We can target this one, and this one. And that is really it. We have no way to target the Bonnie actually here, because we would have to place Silvina somewhat like here. That doesn't work. If you place her here, it's Fresto. If you place her here, it's Tarsi. And here it becomes Tarsi and then changes to Fresto a little bit. So really that is a little bit annoying for her. But you have to live with some maps, and there are downsides to certain heroes. So on this map, not that strong. And yeah, that is something to keep in mind. The good thing about her is we have an insane damage output, and the reason is a little bit in her skills. So we have to go into the text. Which, yeah, so we have crit, of course, very nice, and then this is the most important ability. Sylvina's normal attack, which she usually will do outside of her ultimate skill, become Whirl Assault, and Whirl Assault is an ability that deals 140% damage, so a lot more than a normal attack, and we can prolong that by another 6 seconds for each enemy that we defeat. And the marked enemy is, of course, the one that I just showed you, so that is very great. And not only is that the damage that we deal here, this is like her first strike ability. This is the one with the symmetrical position. It's explained right here. We launch the attack when the battle starts, and we deal immediately 300% damage. You can buff it with skill power, which I would definitely recommend, because the extra skill power is really, really nice on her. As I said, ult, okay, can be good, but the important part is really her normal stuff. If you get to buff this with skill power, it's really great. We have extra stun in here for 5 seconds, which is insane. We have the extra whirlwind duration, so we can keep our Whirl Assault going and not have her default to normal attacks. And all of that is something you get for skill power, so she's really high value in terms of that. So immediate teleport, big damage, then we hit Whirl Assault on there. We hope that the enemy gets defeated within like the duration of Whirl Assault, which is the first 12 seconds, so that we get prolonged by 6 plus the 2 seconds, which is really good. We have a ton of crit already, which is nice. And then we have the Frighten effect here. When marked enemy is defeated, Sylvina frightens enemies within 2 tiles of the defeated enemies for 4 seconds. And Frighten lacks a description here, but it's pretty cool actually, because the enemies run away and they can't really attack any in any way during that time. So if you do that in a crowded area, it's actually way better. But yeah, otherwise this ability, I mean, it's okay to have an ability that provides you with a shield for a hero that attacks that offensively, but still, yeah, I mean, not the strongest one. I would still get the +10 though, because the +10 is pretty insane. And then the last thing, we reduce the target's vitality. And this vitality, let's take a look at it, is in the defensive stats. We see it right here. Increases the effectiveness of the units received shields and healing. So we reduce the healing and shields the enemy receives. And that is, of course, pretty insane. As we have an assassin here that wants to take down the enemy, every healing that the enemy could get would work against us. So we take this opportunity to just reduce the healing and make it ever so more easy to take the enemy down. If we get to land an ult, then in this situation, this actually works out for us reducing the enemy's energy. That is the most important part. If we get to land an ult, we reduce the enemy's energy. Can be nice in such a situation where we attack the Silvina here, for example. If the Silvina came close to an ult, we would do our ult, which gets countered sadly in this fight. We would actually reduce the energy so much that this hero would not likely be get an ult in time again. So here we see the Frighten effect, can't run anywhere. We hit the ult, which does a ton of damage. Yeah, can't really see the energy drain effect, sadly, because we kind of one-shot that guy, no? And yeah, that is really great. There is something more that is pretty nice. We, of course, now get a very nice tank as well that has a little bit of AoE. So if our Callan, and you should watch yesterday's video if you have no idea about Callan, runs towards the enemy, he might actually cover our Sylvina as well. So we could kind of build a very offensive team with that, which is pretty cool. So that is definitely something to keep in mind on that end. And also, she's a nice investment because we have, like, in general, a ton of Graveborn heroes now that are pretty good. A Graveborn skill that is not bad either, that I really like with the health drain. And this kind of works together pretty well. We can maybe watch a fight there. Okay, this is super fast, so you have to be you have to really keep an eye open. We are going to attack that Smokey. This Smokey is also going to be attacked by Soul Reaver. Seizes the soul of the rearmost non-summoned enemy for the prime carrier. Instantly cause the enemy to lose 48% of HP, up to 800% of the prime carrier's attack. Blah blah blah. He loses a ton of HP. We attack immediately, deal a ton of damage, and also we are using Bonnie to put aging on the Smokey, which then with the Mythic Plus causes it to spread to 2 enemies. So this will take like 0.5 seconds. So, and he's gone. Yep, and we frighten like all the enemies around that immediately. So if you want to combo that, yeah, that can be very insane. We just have to get past that. Yeah, we just have to get past the other heroes. No idea if this team can make it. It was mostly supposed to demonstrate what we already had there. So pretty cool. I think we're going to lose this nonetheless because we're really not set to fight this enemy team. Yeah. Okay. Not too great. But the tactic that you just saw is something that you can, of course, use to just deal an immense amount of damage immediately. With Paragon advantage we lost. Nice. Good PvP. But I just wanted to show the tactics. So, you can enhance that even more later on if you go for the double tile, and can use the Bonnie on the tile as well, sees even more energy from the enemy. And of course, the extra prime carrier damage that you can do is also pretty nice because we get an extra attack buff on her. So very easy to take out one enemy with it, target the specific enemy. And I hope you liked this little demonstration of Sylvina. If you want to see more of such videos, subscribe to the channel and tell me down in the comments. A comment always helps the channel, but if you're on the way down there, subscribing, always appreciated. And with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.